Today is July 28th, 2026, and by 2:40 p.m. in the afternoon, I will officially have spent 20 years out of the womb. Isn't that great? Yeah, yeah, it really is. But, it's midnight right now, and I'm currently contemplating about my life right now because I don't sound like your typical 20-year-old, I don't really sound, my voice isn't really that deep, which I'm very insecure about. My voice isn't that deep. So when I try to, talk about something serious online, I feel like there's less of a chance that people will really care. And it hurts, but no one's ever, no one's ever made a comment talking about my voice. So it's made me not really try to focus on it too much, but when I've tried to make music over the years, I realized that when I listen back to myself, I sound very out of place. And I still sound like a child that's trying to be taken seriously when I'm literally a grown ass man. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. And it's the reason why, for the current time being of me making music, I don't really want to take myself too seriously until my voice gets deeper. I have plans on how I want to make that happen quicker, but that's besides the point. Uh, yeah, it really sucks, but I'm so grateful that I'm not too much of an insecure person. I'm still insecure to the point where I'm not as confident as I want to be. So again, I tried to hide under a bunch of irony and oh, I'm just doing music as a joke. I'm not serious about it at all. But yeah, outside of just my voice, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I don't want to say the generic thing and say I'm not exactly who I want to be. But at the same time, that kind of is where I'm at, as generic as that may sound for me. And the reason why I say generic is because I've already said these things to myself before. I do talk to myself sometimes because I don't have friends anymore. I haven't had actual friends, IRL, for a very long time. Even online, I'm more so acquaintances with people than I am friends. And it's occasionally every once in a while throughout a year. This year, for example. It is what it is. I know I've naturally just reached this point, especially with college, separating from certain people that even during childhood you were never too close with outside of school lunch talks and recess and stuff like that. And as you got older, through just talking with them in classes and again, cafeteria, etc., etc., I've always been a very lonely individual, and that hasn't bothered me too much, but it has led to me making some decisions I regret that I've done online. It has led to me making some decisions that I've regretted making online as a child, that I've learned as I've gotten older. Oh yeah, this is why I act this way and I do these things so much and why I'm addicted to this kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. If you know, you know. I made a lot of mistakes and I feel like I have a hard time dealing with those mistakes unless I feel like there's people online that are, I wouldn't say like I'm leaning on the shoulders of, because I don't need other people to feel better about myself. I already learned how to self-medicate. I don't need a therapist because I already know I should just do research on what I need to improve on myself and I can just do it. But at the same time, there are things about me that I can never truly fix right now unless I feel like I am successful at something. So that will give me the motivation to like try to have a more positive mindset and try to work out more or whatever. This field doesn't really have a central focus or topic. It's just a venting video since For these 20 years that I've been on Earth, I've slowly started to realize, just like a lot of other people, not everything's sunshine and rainbows, but especially for me, you know how you just know so much about the world and you want to educate people about these things that and these cycles that keep repeating over and over again, both IRL and online. You want to help educate people on how to deal with those things, but you don't have the platform to, even though you tried to get your name out there. And you just feel like you're never able to speak the knowledge you have, so you just feel like you're watching everything rot around you and no one's paying attention and no one cares about what you have to say. I feel like I know too much for someone who's known too little by people. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean that in a way where I want to help a lot of people in this world that don't know what I know or don't understand or haven't understood things to the level that I've been able to understand things, if that makes sense. But I haven't been able to do that. But yeah, I'm fine with not having any relationships with any girls right now because I don't have time for it. I'm not in the right headspace for it. I wouldn't say I'm depressed or anything, even though I used to be on and off in the past. I'm definitely a lot more. I'm definitely a lot more like aware of what I want to do, but at the same time, I feel like if things don't really work out for myself this time, I might spiral back into depression again. And it's not going to be cool. It's going to be really bad. I know I'm sugarcoating a lot of my emotional reactions to that stuff because I don't want to just cry on camera or anything. That's not something I want to do. Not because I'm afraid to, but because it's just unnecessary. So yeah. I'm glad I've been able to spend 20 years on Earth, but I feel very unaccomplished, and I truly do feel like if I stay unaccomplished for any longer, I might lose my mind because I really want to help people, but I feel like I won't be able to help the right people if not enough people listen to what I have to say. And again, I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I mean that I genuinely want to do everything I can to make some small part of this planet a less hectic place. And it starts with making a few people that might watch me a bit less sheep-minded. As corny as that sounds, but again, a lot of this stuff is stuff I'll go into more detail on if I ever get the attention I feel like I should try to achieve getting, because I don't feel like I deserve it, because again, people have lives and not everyone has to watch me, and I understand that. But I do feel like I made too many mistakes when it came to try and get attention in the past, and I feel like I'm a bit late to a lot of things that I wouldn't have been late to before. But at the same time, I'm still very young, so I have a long way to go. But I feel like at the point I'm at in my life, I feel like I'm kind of like a ticking time bomb of self-deprecation, to where if I keep letting myself go because things keep not going my way, I'm going to eventually reach a breaking point, and things I don't want to say on camera might happen that was very close to happening back in February and half, kinda, almost not really happening in May. But it's July 28th now. I'm in a better headspace. I'm in a better state of mind. But again, I feel like I'm not being able to reach the right people. And I do feel like if that happens for long enough, I might lose my mind. But hopefully that doesn't happen. But I'm still very insecure. I'm still self-deprecating a lot more than I should. I'm not eating as healthy as I should. I haven't for a long time. I rarely do. Even though I like to, I still might eat the occasional fruit and vegetable when I get the opportunity, but if the opportunity isn't immediately at my fingertips to get something healthy, unless I have to cook it, Then I'll just get some sludge at a store, you know. And by sludge, I mean the snacks, that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't really, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care about making this a professionally put together, structured video. This is just me speaking my mind, and if it reaches the right person, that's great. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. I'm not really expecting it to, but if it does happen, that's cool. And yeah, it's my 20th birthday today. And by the time I turn 21, I have that I don't completely lose myself. Because that's most likely going to happen, but I hope it doesn't. I'm in a really rough spot, but I feel a lot more ambitious than I used to feel, even if I'm still very insecure and self-deprecative. And I'm using the scraps of my energy that I have left to try and make a name for myself. So hopefully that works out and my next video gets a lot of attention, because if it doesn't, I'm going to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying until I give up and bad stuff happens. But hopefully that doesn't happen, even though it will most likely happen. If it doesn't, that is a miracle, and I'll update y'all, whoever cares, that I'm in a better headspace and stuff. If you can relate to what I'm saying, and you're watching this up to this point somehow, thank you. You can leave a comment telling me about how you feel. And yeah, that's the entire video. I'm 20 years old now, even though I'm still in the same bread I've always been in. Not always, but more like been in for the past few years, ever since I started to realize what's wrong with me. And I've started to realize how much worse I've become up here in this brain and this noggin that always likes to feed into all the negativity. You're so ugly. Your nose is so big. You have a chubby belly, even though I'm still not actually fat at all. I just have a little gut. You're scrawny. All this dumb stuff. That's pretty much it. I should end this video at some point, because if I don't end this video, it's gonna drag and drag and drag and drag and drag and drag. I'm 20 now.